Sharon, you're going to score Joanne. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For the 19th year running, we have our Astro Jeopardy contestants. Our first contestant comes from Columbus, Ohio. That is correct. It would be Joanne. Joanne is a former champion of Jeopardy. We have another former champion of Jeopardy, all the way from Canton, Ohio, Mr. Phil Creed. And a many-time almost champion, but never quite making it, participant, Mr. Jason Bezos. And we have Draylin on computer controls tonight, and please be forgiving of Draylin because I have just taught him how to do it, and I'm not a very good teacher. So welcome to Jeopardy! So let's see if the sound works. Let's see if the sound works. Let's see if the sound works. Okay, it doesn't work. We will skip the tune. You guys know it. Okay, we'll go through it. Let's go.
You try percussive.
So the categories for the first round of Jeopardy are as follows. Stars. Oh, this is, yes, stars. Rats. In reference to the radio astronomy telescope SIG. Art. I sense you see a pattern. R-A. The last one would be A in quotation marks, which indicates that the answer will start with an A, to remind you. And the last one, So this will be just a simple fill-in-the-blank category. I believe that the person that was in last place the former year goes first, so that would be Jason. So, Draylin, I'm going to hand it off to you. And here is our board. So Jason, I will ask you to pick a category.
Stars for 100.
Stars for 100. Now you hit the... Yes, thank you. The name of this brilliant orange star is derived from the Arabic Ibit al-Juwaza.
What is Beetlejuice?
Joanne, what is Beetlejuice? Please wait until you are acknowledged. So you need to hit reset there, and then you hit home with the mouse. There you go. Excellent. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, Joanne, you have control of the board.
Oh, so that was right.
That was correct. Okay.
Same category, 200.
Same category, 200. The astronomer Ptolemy referred to this star as the Gorgon of Perseus. You need to hit reset. Thank you. Yes, I saw that Phil buzzed in first. Yes, Phil.
What is Algol?
Algol is correct. You can show the answer. Thank you. And now hit control. And actually, if you want to
Set it on.
this over there,
Reset.
reset, and hit the home. Thank you, sir. He's Johnny. Phil, you have control.
Let's do stars for 300.
Stars for 300. Over a normal human lifetime, this nearby red dwarf will have moved a quarter of a degree across the sky. Joanne.
There's Barnard Star.
That is correct. Barnard star is correct. Thank you. Joanne has control of the board.
Let's go on to 4.
Named for a star in Orion, she killed Sirius. Her name means female warrior. Phil.
What is Bellatrix?
Bellatrix is correct. Bellatrix. You can be either an astronomer or a Harry Potter fan.
Honestly, that was I was thinking the Harry Potter.
Yes.
Let's just finish off.
Let's finish off the category. Okay. the father of Pleiades, and the god who was condemned to hold up the heavens, not the earth. Joanne.
No, I messed up. Was
Okay, so that is minus 500 for
Was
Phil.
that?
Yeah, that's correct, actually. So, yes, that is correct.
Oh.
Listen, actually, not minus 500.
For a moment, I-
Yes, she is correct. Let's make sure that the scores are going well. Let us review the scores at this early stage to make sure everything is going correctly.
I need a Kleenex or something.
Need a Kleenex? Is everybody else napkined and Kleenexed appropriately?
Yeah, plus 500.
Okay, so-
Joanne has 800.
Joanne has 800. Phil? 600. Phil and Joe?
Jason has 0.
Jason has 0. Yes,
I have a reputation of down too.
Since Joanne answered Atlas correctly, Joanne has control of the board. Art.
100.
For 100. Ursa Major features prominently in Night Over the Rhone by this artist. Joanne.
Which I go.
Van Gogh is correct, yes. That is correct. Van Gogh, I will accept. Joanne?
200.
200. This recurrent celestial apparition appears in Giotto's Adoration of the Magi. Who is Jason? Yes.
What is Haley's comment?
Haley's Comet is correct.
Ah, now I got something on here.
Jason is on the board. Rats for 100. 3C273 in Virgo is one of the most easily observed of these energetic galactic nuclei. Joanne,
What's the question?
what is a quasar? That is correct. Thank you.
Really dramatic.
Good at buzzing in. She's good at buzzing in, and
Yes.
I am tongue-tied. Joanne, you have
Go
control.
back 1, 3.
Art for 300. This prominent space artist imagined what the early Earth would look like in the painting Into the Fire. I had this in an old natural history book when I was growing up. So no one gets it? Yes. Bonestell, yes. Chelsea Bonestell. Okay. Joanne still has control of the board.
RA 100.
RA. To pinpoint the coordinates of a celestial object in the sky, you need both east-west right ascension and this north-south measurement. Jason.
What is declination?
Declination is correct. Jason has more.
We'll do rats for 200.
Rats for 200. Rabbit ears on old TVs. Reset. Thank you. Rabbit ears on old TVs are an example of this, the simplest type of radio antenna. Jason.
What is a dipole?
Dipole. This category was written for you. Okay. Blow it all.
Rats for 300.
Rats for 300. Abbreviated VLBI. It is the technique which combines signals from multiple telescopes that are widely separated to produce images like this. Jason.
Interferometry.
That is abbreviated VLBI. That is not correct.
Oh, abbreviated.
Joanne.
Oh.
Very large. Basic interferometry.
That is not correct. Yes. Phil, would you like to give it a guess? Phil is not touching that with a 10.
Very large baseline interferometry.
Yes, very long baseline interferometry. Yes, Don knew that, I think. So, okay. So I believe Jason has control.
Rats for 400.
Rats for 400. These get a little harder as they go up. In the 1930s, this simple molecule revealed itself as a hiss that was strongest when the summer Milky Way was high in the sky. Simple molecule. Would anyone like to buzz in? Yes, Don Stevens.
Carbon monoxide?
Carbon monoxide is not correct.
Hydrogen?
Yes, neutral hydrogen.
Whoa, you said molecule.
Neutral hydrogen is a molecule, H2.
Oh, that's right, that's
Yeah.
right. Neutral. Yeah, neutral. Yeah.
H2 is the neutral ion. Molecule would be H2.
Yeah, it's hydrogen. Hydrogen is the molecule that is actually producing. But misleading, poorly worded questions are par for the course. Anyway, no one loses on that one. So it didn't have any effect on the fun. So that's my one
500
bummer
for
of
rats.
questions. 500 for rats. This early radio astronomer had his name given to a crater on the moon, an asteroid, and a unit of electromagnetic flux.
What is Jansky?
Jansky is correct. Pulling that one out.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice job, Joanne. Joanne, you have control.
Art for.
Art for 4. The photographer Ansel Adams captured moonrise in this U.S. state. Jason.
What is Montana?
Montana is not correct. Yes.
New Mexico.
Okay.
Oh, did I flash the answer? Okay, sorry, that doesn't count. Did anyone else know that? Okay. So I will X that out. New Mexico. Yes, I didn't see that. You flashed it. That should. Are we reset here? Good, okay. Let me think who got the last one. That would be Joanne, I believe. Yes, Joanne got dancing. Okay. For the art, 500 for art, yes. Artist Don Davis portrays this cataclysmic event here. Phil.
Impact of Shoemaker, what is the impact of Shoemaker-Levy 9?
That is correct. Impact of Shoemaker-Levy 9. So you need to reset. I had someone leaning on the button there. So, okay. Yep, that's good. Impact of Shoemaker-Levy 9 or the collision. So Phil has control of the board.
Let's do RA for 200.
RA for 200. Precession of. Are we having issues? Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Precession of the equinoxes has dragged the first point of right ascension from Aries into this constellation. Phil.
What is Pisces?
Pisces is correct. That's a good answer. Okay, Phil, control.
RA for 300.
RA for 300. These inscribed rings were commonly used before there were go-to telescopes. Phil.
Or setting circles.
Setting circles is correct, and Jason just barely missed that one. Okay, Phil.
RA for 400.
RA for 4. Most star charts published today express RA in depth in J2000, a fixed reference referred to as this. Jason. What is epoch? Yes, that is correct. Epoch. Okay. Jason has control of the board. He wrestled it from Phil.
Let's finish up. Right ascension.
Right ascension. Okay. Yes, RA. To determine right ascension using one of these instruments, time the passage of stars to the center of its field of view. Jason.
It was a transit telescope.
Transit telescope, that I will accept that. It's also called a meridian telescope. Yes, both of those were okay. Jason, you have control.
We'll do 100.
Okay, for 100. This retro-style rocket is being developed by the company Space. Phil.
What is X?
X. Please wait until I finish, but yes.
Let's do the blank category for 2.
Blank category for 2. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos founded the aerospace company Blue. Jason.
Dragon.
That is not correct. What? Phil.
What is Blue Origin?
Blue Origin is correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go for 300.
Good, for 300. A satellite whose orbital velocity matches the rotational velocity of the Earth is called a satellite. Geostationary or geosynchronous. Either one is fine, thank you. Joanne, thank you. Control the board.
400.
400. A spiral galaxy with a nucleus that is much brighter than the rest of the galaxy is called a galaxy. Yes.
Safer?
Seyfert is correct. Yes, Seifert or Seyfert. That is right. Seyfert Galaxy. These guys know their stuff.
They know.
They know their stuff. Joanne,
500.
500. The history of is a history of receding horizons. Edwin Hubble. Would anyone know this quote? It's actually easier than you would think. Okay, the answer is astronomy. Astronomy. An obscure quote with an easy answer.
Who'd have thunk it?
Who would have thought it? I believe Joanne has control of the board. A. These all start with an A. It takes light 499 seconds to travel this, the unit that describes the distance between the sun and the Earth. Phil.
What is an astronomical unit?
Astronomical unit, yes. And please wait until I'm done.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Let's
Phil.
do that for 200.
200. It's the angle in degrees of a celestial object above the horizon. Phil?
What is altitude?
Altitude is correct, yes. Okay. Phil?
300.
300. Visual observers can gain between 3 and 4 magnitudes of sensitivity using this technique. Joanne?
What's averted vision?
Averted vision is correct, yes. Okay. Joanne? 4. Okay. In the most extreme version... Okay. Okay. So one more. In the most extreme versions of these, around a black hole, material travels so fast that time dilation becomes a major factor. Joanne? Accretion disk is correct, yes. And you have control of the board, which would be, there's one left, and there is something missing that we haven't yet done. Wow! So Joanne gets the double jeopardy. So let's review the scores here. I'm sorry?
Lots of lots.
She has lots and lots.
Yeah, right, okay.
Shall
Start
we?
with mine. I was
Joe?
Under some negatives, you're up to plus 500.
Plus 500, Jay. And Phil?
2,700.
2,200 Phil has. And Joanne?
29.
2,900. How much would you like to bid? 200?
I'm chicken.
She's chicken, okay. This might be a good, but might not be good. Okay. So you hit the arrow the next one. Okay. Cinematic wizards and astrologers have lots of these models of the celestial sphere about. These guys right here. Perhaps you made a good bet. Yes.
I can't think of it.
Okay. Would either of you like to bid to buy that?
I can't think of the right word.
Jason.
Astrolabe.
No.
Astrolabe is not correct, but it's a good
They're
guess.
not astrolabe.
Yes, so that minus 200 for Jason.
Whoa, wait, I know.
Yeah. Phil? Does anybody know? No. They start with an A. It's an armillary sphere. Do you guys know? Have you guys heard of that? An armillary sphere? It's a 500-point question. You know, it's supposed to be very hard. Okay, let's. We are at the half, and let us review the scores so far.
Okay, so she has 2,700.
Joanne has 2,700. Phil has 2,200, and Jason has.
Now, I would deduct 200 from my spending night.
You do deduct 200, yes.
So then he's 300.
300. So normally in the Jeopardy they do something at this time. They ask people, you know, about their hobbies, and you know, they do a little type of thing. I'm going to ask what you guys are going to do that's special over the holiday. What are you up to?
Cocaine.
Cooking? Oh, I heard that. I heard cocaine. I was like, what? Puerto Rican style. Cooking. My ears are. I was just shocked for a second until I processed that. I apologize. Dine with family. That's awesome. And Jason.
Cocaine.
Cocaine. Jason is doing cocaine. So gang, we are going to go to the second round of Astro Jeopardy here. I'm going to bring to We have another half round in the bag, and I will pull this up. Once again, thank you to Draylin, who adroitly took over the computer role and has made nary a blunder. So thank you, Draylin. Thank you so much. So if anybody would like to keep that, you're more than welcome. So you wanted the answers, so there they are. Okay. So to remind them what they're playing for here, the Jeopardy champ gets 3 cookies, and it says Jeopardy champ on the bag. They're welcome to keep that if they like. Second place, it says Jeopardy second place. And third place, it says...
Hey, why you got my name on it?
Yes, it says Jason's participation prize. So that is what they're playing for. So let us review the clues, or the categories, and I will be explaining the nature of the various and sundry categories as we go along here. First one is rather self-explanatory, in the news. The second one is astro flags. The third one is the silent letter. Now this one has a special technique. You do not answer the word that I'm calling for. You answer the letter in the word that is silent. So if the answer were take, the answer would be E. E. That is correct. Yes. So if
Yeah, I'm not ranking up for this.
Okay. Okay, so that one is a little tricky. The next one is numbers. That one's fairly straightforward. This one is product reviews. I give product reviews. I give a product review and you answer with the product. And the final one, I will not be reading. It is, you will be reading it yourself and determining the answer. These are voice-texted constellations. So what I did was I took all 88 constellations and set them into my phone, and the ones that came up with the most humorously awful transliterations were what I put onto this particular category. So you have to guess the constellation that I was doing. So, Draylin, are you ready to go? Are you guys ready to go? Point values are doubled, befitting the complexity and weirdness of this particular round. So, I believe that Joanne has the control of the board. Numbers for 200. She goes for the easy one. It is 299,792,458 meters per second. Jason.
Speed of light?
That is correct. Speed of light. Jason is buzzing in at the speed of light.
Voice texted constellations. I gotta see this.
For how much?
Oh, 200. I'm sorry.
200. Okay, thank you. Jason.
Camelpardalis.
That is correct. Camelpardalis. Yeah, that's close enough. Yeah, Camelpardalis. Jason.
Voice texted constellations for 400.
For 400. Jason.
Canis Venetici.
That is correct. Canis Venetici. Canis Venetici. Phones are terrible at this. Try saying the name of like obscure Russian chess players into your phone at some point. That gets it totally wrong.
We'll do voice texted constellations for 600.
600. Jason.
Berenice's hair.
That is correct. Yeah, it's Coma Berenice.
Yes.
That's Berenice's Coma Berenice.
I was saying the classic.
Yeah, you were saying it in the transliterator, and I will give that.
All right.
Okay.
Voice
Jason.
texted constellations for 800.
Yes. Jason.
Ophiuchus.
Ophiuchus is correct. Yes, Ophiuchus.
1,000.
1,000. Phil.
What is triangle?
Continue.
Austral. What is triangle austral?
Yes, Triangulum Australis. Triangulum Australis. So thank you for you got through that. So I believe Phil has control of the board.
Let's do product reviews for 200.
Product reviews for 200. I get to read. Despite the fact that it's been around for 43 years, it remains an excellent all-around basic telescope. Very round, in fact. Phil.
What is an astroscan?
That is correct. An Edmund Astroscan. That is correct. That red round ball.
Let's go with product reviews for 400.
Product reviews for 400. They sport an apparent field of view of 100 degrees, the widest apparent field of view of any commercial eyepiece ever.
Jason, ethos eyepiece.
Ethos eyepiece. And I believe that Phil actually has an ethos eyepiece.
No, I did at one point.
You did have an ethos eyepiece, and he did not get that. But Jason took rest of control of the world. Okay.
We'll keep doing product reviews.
Product reviews for 600?
Yep.
Okay. Oh. Jason has a chance to throw it all away. How many? Joanne, how much does Joanne have?
She doesn't have anything yet?
No, I mean in the second.
In the first round, in total, 2,700.
2,700 plus anything in this round?
No, not in this round.
Okay, so 2,700, and Phil has
3,400.
3,400, and Jason?
Jason has 2,700.
2,700. Jason is screaming into the lead.
Check that number.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna only do 100.
100! For 100 points.
Here's some hydrogen.
It is square and bulky. It provides no magnification. It has a goofy dimmer switch for the illuminated reticle. It is not sexy looking taped to your telescope.
What is a Telrad?
A Telrad. That is correct, yes.
I should have been it all.
These were all on B&H photo, by the way. Jason has control of the board.
We'll do product reviews for 800.
Product reviews for 800. But all that power does not come without complexity. By last count, there are over 150 distinct processes and authorized scripts. Jason.
What is Pix Insight?
Pix Insight is correct.
How did you get that?
We were just discussing Pix Insight at the dinner table tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Phil and
I was bored one day and counted them. Done.
Phil and Jason.
1,000 for product.
1,000 for product reviews. The world's most popular telescope to observe the sun. Joanne. Coronado.
Personal telescope?
Yes, personal telescope. PSD. That is correct. Joanne, you have control of the board.
Numbers 4?
Numbers for 4. Our best estimate of this is 4.543 billion years.
What
Jason.
is the age of the Earth?
The age of the Earth is correct. Yes, the solar system is slightly older. Jason, you have control.
Let's do astro flags for 200.
Astro flags
I just want to see it.
200, yes. The flag of this nation is one of 5, which contains a representation of the Southern Cross. Yes.
What is Brazil?
Brazil is correct. Yes. As my wife would tell me. So Jason, you said.
The astro flags for 400.
Astro flags for 400. The flag of this U.S. state appropriately features Ursa Major and Polaris. Phil.
What is Alaska?
Alaska is correct.
No to Alaska.
Phil, control.
Flags for 6.
Flags for 6. The flag of South Carolina shares this celestial shape with the flags of Turkey, Malaysia, Azerbaijan, and others. Phil.
What is a crescent?
Crescent. That is correct. A crescent or a crescent moon. That is correct. Phil.
Flags for 8.
Flags for 8. This nation's flag features the so-called Sun of May, which is also prominent on coins in Uruguay. Joanne. I'm sorry?
Paraguay?
Paraguay is not correct. Does anyone else know? Argentina.
Oh, that's the flag. I thought they were saying that for the Earth.
Yes.
I thought they were talking about what the sun is.
Yes. This nation's flag.
Yeah.
Misleading, poorly worded question on their part, of course. That's okay. Phil still has control.
Flags for a grand.
Flags for a grand. The flag of Laos, in the flag of Laos, it is portrayed as a white disc. And in the only other flag it appears in, Palau, a golden disc.
In the flag.
These are astronomical questions. Anyone else know? Would like to take a venture? Yes, Jay.
Sun.
The sun is not correct. Yes. I'm sorry? The full moon. We had a crescent moon for all of the, and then a full moon for this. It was slightly tricky. That's why it was a 1,000 point question, but no one lost anything on it because nothing ventured, nothing gained. I believe that Phil has control of the board. If I remember correctly.
Let's run the numbers if we're sticking.
Run the numbers.
Yeah.
So its magnitude is minus 26.74. Phil,
What is the sun?
the sun is correct. It's very
You're
bright.
a little early there, Mr.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, he needs to get off about it.
Number 3.
Numbers for 8. 9,192,000. Oh yeah, sorry. Okay. Phil. Sorry.
That's bad.
Oh wait, we need to review the number of points. Sorry.
Okay, Joanne now has 2,900.
Yes. And Phil has 5,000.
And Jason has 4,200.
4,200. That's a tight game. So Phil.
I feel very uncomfortable.
I'm just gonna wager 200.
200. Yes, sir. Not James Holzhauer. Okay, so for 200, 9,192,631,770 oscillations of electrons out of and into the ground state of cesium. Jason,
What is a second?
a second is correct. Yes, Phil did not get it. Actually, Phil was supposed to answer that, but
I know, but remember last time?
but Phil didn't actually know it, so I allowed that. So that's fine. Jason got 1,000. Phil lost 200. So I apologize. Joanne, did you get a chance to buzz in? I'm sorry.
I didn't
Was
even
that-
think of it.
Was it? Oh, that was an unfair. Maybe we should take that out because I didn't give Joanne a chance to buzz. Yeah. I had to acknowledge.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll cancel that 1,000 there, and we will go back to.
200.
Yeah.
No, cancel the 1,000. Phil loses the 200 because it didn't get. So, sorry. You're in the lead still. Okay.
Let's go
Yes.
to numbers for 1,000.
Numbers for 1,000. It will have 18 hexagonal mirrors in an array 6.5 meters across. Anyone? Yes. John?
Beryllium
Yes.
hexagonal mirrors.
That's correct. Yes. The James Webb Space Telescope. I believe that Phil still has control of the board.
Let's do in the news for 200.
In the news, you guys are avoiding that. With the most recent discovery of 20 more moons, this planet has the largest known retinue in the solar system. Joanne, Saturn is correct, yes. Joanne got that correct. Joanne, you have control. 400. Now officially dubbed Araha, from the Powhatan word for sky, it was commonly referred to by this name, which had unfortunate neo-Nazi associations.
Yes.
Too much enthusiasm for neo-Nazis.
No. I know what the answer
Okay.
is.
Does anybody know the answer of the game? Jay, would you like to answer? Yes.
It was called some catalog number, and
Yes.
then Ultima Thule.
Ultima Thule, yes, that's what it was formerly called, but that started to be used by some unsavory people, so they decided to change it.
That's supposed to be the homeland for the so-called Aryan
Yeah,
race.
we won't get into that. But yes, I believe Joanne has control of the board. 600. This year, it crossed the heliopause and entered interstellar space, just as its sibling did in 2012. Jason.
What is Voyager 2?
Voyager 2 is correct, yes. And Jason has control.
Jason's gonna win.
Let's do the silent letter for 200.
Silent letter for 200. It's the part of the sundial that casts a shadow? Phil.
What is G?
G is correct, yes.
No.
Gnomon, yes. A gnomon, like new, nice.
But you really do have to kind of like, it's a two-step thought
It's
process.
a two-step process, it's a little tricky. It's a little tricky.
Let's do the silent treatment for 400.
Silent treatment for 400. The edge of a planet, star, or moon as seen from a given point of view. Jason.
What is H? Horizon?
That is not correct.
All right.
So minus 400. Anybody else want to take a guess?
B.
B.
Limb.
Don is correct. Yes, limb is the answer. Limb. Limb.
I'm like, horizon, I'm like,
You don't say limb. Okay. Phil.
Silent letter for 600.
Silent letter for 600. The 21st letter of the alphabet is silent in this word, derived from the Roman goddess of the dawn. I see them counting. Okay, I'm going to say that you can't do the entire alphabet. Would anyone else like to buzz in on that one? U is correct, Tom. Yes, U is correct. Aurora. It's like it's spelled
I
A-U.
pronounce it with a U, that's the problem.
Aurora.
Yeah, I pronounce it
That's
as
because
that's the way.
people aren't pronouncing it correctly. It's Aurora.
Aurora.
It's kind of
I
pronounced.
think we should all get points for that.
Nothing harmed, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
All right.
Okay, so
800 for
800 for a silent letter.
Yeah.
Those who are merely average will probably not know that this is the technical term for twinkling. Phil.
What is C?
C is correct. Yes, I was giving a really leading answer for that. So, thank you, Phil. You have control of the board.
Silent letter for 1,000.
Silent letter for 1,000. This portable device, invented in antiquity, was used by astronomers and navigators to measure the height of stars above the horizon.
E.
E, yes, and the astrolabe. But E is correct. You would have gotten it. Astrolabe. Yes.
What if I do this?
Yeah. Every year there's one category that everybody hates. That was it. Okay. So, Phil, you still have control.
Let's go in the news for 800.
In the news for 800. First, it was methane. Now, curiosity scientists are watching a seasonal.
Okay,
That's okay.
okay.
It's accidental. Are watching seasonal fluctuations in this reactive and potentially life-generated molecule. I see Don's hand raising up in the back. Yes? Yes, Jay.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm good, so. Jay.
Oxygen.
Oxygen is correct, yes. Oxygen is is undergoing seasonal fluctations, and it's one of those things that could be perhaps produced by deep Martian beasties, maybe. So Phil has control of the board, of course, but that doesn't matter. Closed by the University of Chicago in 2018, this venerable observatory will soon be reopened by a charitable foundation. Joanne. Yerkes. That is correct. Yerkes Observatory. Thank you. So, we have mercifully reached the end of the second round. Can we get a review of the scores? Sharon is busily
4,100.
so Joanne has 4,100. Phil has 5,800, and Jason will no longer have
4,400.
4,400. It's close. No, I'm just kidding. Jason, if you would like to win, you're more than welcome to win. So let us see the final Jeopardy category. And you will place your wagers based on this category. Asteroids. Asteroids. Yes. Okay. So can we play the...
Remember that, right?
Okay. This says, do the boo. Yeah. Okay, well, we don't have the music, so oh well, that's too bad. Are you guys all ready with your bids? Okay, and Phil is still computing. Okay, so Phil is still computing. So let us go to the next slide here and reveal the final question. Answer. These are the two asteroids currently being orbited by spacecraft. Their names rhyme, and there is a start timer. So we traditionally go backwards from the lowest score to the highest score, and Joanne with 4,100 points. It is a very tight game. Joanne with 4,100 points.
I have 100 points left.
You have 100 points left. How many did you get? You had 4,000, and your response was
What is?
what is bupkis? Okay. So Joanne now has 100 points. No, actually, Jason is next up. Jason has 4,400 points, and Jason's answer is...
Wow, I bet 4,400.
Bet 4,400. And
We
Jason-
love you, Brad Haney Trebek.
That is correct.
You know why I put that, right? Okay, so the guy
Because
did
he didn't know
that.
the answer, that's why I didn't. Okay, so he gets 1 point for that.
Oh, he knows the guy on the show did that.
4,400 money.
The guy on the show wrote, "We love you, Alex Trebek."
Yes, I remember.
Oh, okay, all right. Just making sure, that was the joke. Well, not a joke. Never mind.
On Jeopardy. And Phil.
What is, I don't have a clue.
What is I don't have a clue? And Phil bet
150.
100. So that means Phil with 5,650 points beats Jason with 1 point, and Joanne with 100 points, and becomes the 2019 Jeopardy champion. Thank you guys for allowing yourselves to be subjected to public humiliation and ridicule in this year's edition of Astro Jeopardy. And by the way, it is an afterthought. Does anyone actually know the answer? Jay?
One of them is Ceres.
That doesn't... Okay, well, I will allow you to keep going.
It is ordered by the Juno spacecraft.
Yeah.
And there's Bennett, and Japan has just visited Ryukyu.
Ryukyu is one of the two of them, and it rhymes with Ryukyu. Does anybody know the other one, which is Osiris Rex? Osiris Rex is being orbited by it. Okay, they are named Bennu. Oh, well, we missed it. That's okay. Don't worry about it. They are Bennu and Ryukyu. Yes, Bennu and Ryukyu are currently being orbited. Ceres is actually not considered to be an asteroid at this time. It's actually considered to be a dwarf planet. So I did not count that. And to top it off, it does not rhyme with Bennu or Ryukyu. So, yeah. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Joanne. sincerely and patience with my inability to do this.
Maybe next year I'll win.
Thank you guys, and thank you. And actually, I have a piece for my speaking notes as well.
No, I was.
Well, that's my last act of president. Let me thank you, Brad, for the excellent job at Astronomy Jeopardy, and thank you all for coming out, and happy holidays, everyone.